think it's something that's probably going to surprise a lot of people. So, oh, here's coming from the side. Great.
No, I don't have audio. Hello?
Because I know you're not seeing it on your phones on the DoraHacks thing. Just to remind you. Thanks. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Sure. So my name is Basil, and I'm here building Anima Rising. So I will start you off with a question, and that question is, what if you could create a parallel life inside a simulated reality, Game of Thrones style virtual world? And you can play in this world for the next 10 years. You can farm, you can go logging, you can go hunting, you can study the stars, you can read and get academically smart if you'd like. So inside of this world, for the next 10 years, you can live vicariously through and grow a new life. Of course, you can do this just with a few minutes of game time, playtime per day. So the market has a story to tell us here. If we look back to about 2017, and then also in 2021, and now here in 2024, basically gaming is a massive narrative, and everyone's thinking that once the UX is there, gaming is going to onboard the masses. The stark reality is that about 3.5 billion gamers in the world today play any kind of form of a game. Those who are actually playing anything that's blockchain enabled is about 1 million. So about half the global population plays games, and a fraction of a small city plays any type of game with a blockchain-enabled component. So ultimately, since 2007, we've been iterating on this. I don't know, have we failed? That's what we're trying to solve. So Anima Rising is a idle sim, MMORPG game, and that it means it's low commitment. That is what idle means. So we have 24-hour offline progression. So just with a few minutes per day, you can progress effectively indefinitely inside of this virtual world, like I said, for the next 10 years or so. It is a classic crafting and gathering experience inspired heavily by the early 2000 golden era MMOs. So if you've played RuneScape or World of Warcraft, game mechanics here are quite similar. So now let's get into the simulation component. This is a simulated reality virtual world. So this means that the in-game clock, no matter where you are in the world, we have a system. It will track your time zone. And you, me, and everyone we know starts at the age of 16 and grows day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year inside of this. So 1 year later, once you start your character, they'll be 17. And so what the goal of this game is, you set out to complete a multi-year storyline and master these 35 open-ended skills. Like I said, you can do any of these 35 skills, and we have about 7.5 years of gameplay already designed and being built out for this. In terms of the storyline, we will be releasing the storyline on a weekly basis, so you can think of it almost like, again, like a Game of Thrones or a primetime HBO series, where every Sunday there is new content being released. There's 4 books. Each book has 52 chapters, 1 chapter per week, again on Sunday. So we're building this in Unreal Engine, which is unheard of for an idle game because this is a high-fidelity engine, and this is a idle game that was inspired by clickers and the old days. But here we are, and we're doing this because we want to include 3D animation in the game soon. We're not doing that now. We're still in 2D, but that's the ultimate goal. And of course, our marketplace is being built on Arbitrum Orbit. So here's just a basic UX. What we're looking at, this is the map, of course, over here. This is how you would navigate, and then these are your consumables that you use more late game in more like combat-oriented. Here's your passive farming toggle. Farming operates different than the rest of them. You don't have to actively sit there and watch your crops grow. Of course, you can go do something else while they're growing. The only skill in the game, and such, has a dedicated toggle here. This is just a screen showing you all of the information, and then, of course, we have our inventory, where you could actually select auto-eat to pretty much live indefinitely if you want. You will lose HP at about 8 HP per hour. So if you do not eat in 12.5 hours, your character dies. So this introduces some type of Tamagotchi element where you have to nurture your character. If you do die, you lose everything. So we are like Souls-like. It is a very hard and challenging game, and it is very unforgiving. So Anima Rising changes how we game for a few reasons. First, it's cross-platform, and it's accessible in any moment at any time. Again, it's an always-on world. So you're creating this parallel life that you're going to take with you in your pocket. And then, of course, you can imagine a world where you have a second screen at work where you're just kind of watching and engaging with this passively throughout the day. What's great about this model is that it works with players' time instead of competing for it. So while other competitors have to seek out active attention in a very challenging attention economy with a shrinking attention spans, we don't have to do that. The other great thing about this is that you can create a natural moat around your skilling, just like you would in the real world, right? So experience translates to real money. So you can build expertise in the game, which effectively builds a moat around you, which you can sell. Sorry, I'm getting through it. So we cater to hardcore and casual gamers alike. So we have those 35 skills in the 4-year storyline. Of course, that's going to cater to your hardcore player base. It's a very challenging game, multicast combat system, the whole 9. But it's idle as well, right? So what we're effectively doing is increasing our TAM extensively into the significant hyper-casual and casual markets, which dominate about 60 to 70% of a $100 billion mobile industry every year. And of course, we have active and passive gameplay, which again turns these few minutes of gameplay every day into a decade of daily active users. And we do this through habitual gameplay as, of course, you have 9 hours every night, or 8 or 7, where you're going to be sleeping undisrupted. So it's important to have and set up your strategy before you go to sleep, and then right when you wake up in the morning, you're going to want to check your experience and your loot. So this brings us to our marketplace. It's built on Arbitrum Orbit, L3 app-specific chain. It is fully abstracted away. You would log into the game. You don't even have to log in. You can just start playing. Once you have some progression, you can then save you can log in through OAuth, create an account, and your progression will be saved. Now, do you want to go into the marketplace? You can go check it out. Without doing this, should you want to partake, you will take it through a second process, which will auto-generate a wallet on the back end. And we take an 8% fee on the secondary. Of course, the entire marketplace as well is denominated in stablecoins and operates exclusively in stablecoins, transacts in them. And again, the whole purpose here is to go after non-crypto natives first and take on this massive $200 billion industry and be some form of a Trojan horse. So what does this look like in terms of monetization? Well, we can look at old school RuneScape here as a case study. This is a 20-year-old game that, of course, I'm sure many of us all played. This has 2 million active players still to this day. Each of these players are doing about $75 in in-game volume per year. This translates to about 150 million annually in in-game exchange volume. So now if we can assume that we take, or we can generate 20% of a 20-year-old game's player base, and we can withstand a 8% transaction fee on the secondary market, our projected revenue from in-game transactions alone is about $2.5 million. Of course, this doesn't take into account UGC, any partnership activations, or even any first-time sales on our cosmetic marketplace or anything of the like. So with that, I will close and open it up for questions.
Thanks. Could you talk a bit more about how you plan to onboard users or market?
Yeah, so because we are actually, a part of our go-to-market is we can go to streamers and through our ambassador program and pay them pretty much like 20, 30K. These are guys who are like mid-tier streamers, and because our game is passive and can be played on a second screen, we don't have to have them cancel their current games. We don't have to have them cancel their current partnerships or whatever they're doing. Instead, they can just open up our game for a few minutes per day while, say, they're loading into their primary game. And so we can do that to generate exposure. And basically with that, if we get 4 of those, say about 20K, and then over like a 52-week cycle, we can pretty much blanket exposure to the entire MMO industry.
Thanks.
how close are you to having, having something that people can play right now?
So you can play the game, it's just not on the marketplace is not on chain yet. We have our MVP client built. It is 21 items, it's 5 skills, far cry from the over 1,000 items already designed and the 35 skills, but it's a place to start.
How do people get that? How do they download that?
You can download that, but I'd have to send you the file.
Got it.
And the actual wallet experience, can you go over that a little bit again? Is it just like a WebAuth or?
Yeah, I mean, so we're unsure about where it's going to go. Ultimately, it's again, it's an Arbitrum Orbit L3 app-specific chain, so we have some permissions. We have some more control that you don't really get with other chains. We're talking to Privy. This could be something embedded. This could be like a MetaMask embed that Hyperplay is working on. There's a bunch of ways to do it. We'll probably do something with Coinbase Commerce, where you have 1-2 click on-ramps and off-ramps, so we can get USDC in the hands of these non-crypto natives.
Great. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Let's see. Next up, we have Damos. So while they're plugging in, Damos enables the interoperable human layer for crypto and beyond. It's a big one.
Give us a second.
Sure.
Hi, everyone. Okay, it works.
Okay. Let's start the clock.
Great. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming out today. My name is Zane. I'm the founder and CEO of Damos. We allow anyone to prove that they are a unique human on the blockchain. What does that mean and why is it important? I'll show you. Hi, everyone. I'm Zane Huffman. I'm the CEO and founder of Damos. We are the interoperable human layer for crypto and beyond. What does that mean? Well, it means that any unique person can verify themselves as such on the blockchain, and then any project that wants to do something gated to just humans is able to do that. You can do one per person, airdrops, NFT mints, DAO voting, and so much more. Here's the application itself. We are the easiest to use across the entire space. You do it on your computer, on the comfort of your own home. We just launched on Polygon. I'm already enrolled, so you can see I have my MeID token, which says I'm a unique human. I have it here. My token exists on the blockchain here. Anyone who wants to gate for an ownership of this token just looks for a balance of this token contract. We also have a proof of liveness, which confirms that you are still the same person that you were when you made the account. Use this for higher stake settings. I'm going to turn off my camera and show you here. Okay, so I'm getting started. This is me. This is the entire enrollment process. I confirm that I'm a real person, not a bot, and I confirm that I'm unique, and I confirm since I'm already enrolled that I'm the same person as before. We're done. That's it. Start to finish. It only takes seconds. I will update my attestation on chain now. You'll see this update here, and that's it. So that's Damos. As you can see, it is very easy to sign up. The MetaMask transaction at the end is the most time-intensive component. And what's that good for? Airdrops, sibling airdrops, where someone comes in with hundreds or thousands of accounts. That is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year venture. Optimism alone lost almost $1 billion to Sybil attackers on their airdrop. I'm sure you've all participated in airdrop and you saw someone come in, take so much more than they should have gotten, and you get less because of it. We also see this hinder Web3 gaming. A lot of the players of Web3 games are bots. that really hinders the organic experience and what these gaming projects are able to offer. Generally, botting destroys tons of NFT mints and token launches. I'm sure you've all participated in NFT mint, last bull market maybe, where someone came in, sibbled the mint, you weren't able to do it. That is a huge hindrance against broader adoption. Our entire thesis is around the notion of being the easiest to use mechanism for someone to prove that they're a unique person on chain. This establishes what we call the interoperable human layer. Any real person can come in, prove they're a real person. Any project permissionlessly can gate anything they want to do behind that proof of personhood. Immediately, this is important for airdrops, mints, you name it. Beyond that, there's an entire layer of, call it human-gated innovation that we cannot yet unlock, and we will be able to with this. New consensus mechanisms for DAO governance, new ways to do fair launch distributions, and so much more. We've just launched about a month ago. We're up to now about 1,000 users. Our go-to-market strategy includes getting more and more of these high-quality real users, and then partnering with projects that give them end-to-end user experience activations. We have a few of our partners here on the slide. We have a whole bunch of new partnerships in the pipeline. We are soon, when we get back from Denver, deploying to Farcaster, or we're working with the DGen team to do a human-gated UBI stream. You get tokens every day that you can tip, that you can do whatever with. We're working with a couple of different NFT creator studios so they can do one per person mints, and so much more like that. The more users, the more integrations, the more reasons to use, the easier and easier it is to grow our user base and build out this notion of the human layer. So we are just launched. We are ramping up. We're going multi-chain once we come back from Denver. We're going on to Base, Blast, Mantle, a few others. And our intention is to raise now and then get ready to launch the token. We are going to gate our token launch behind the product itself so that we can offer a very first of its kind initial human offering. Each real person can come in first, get the best rates. The whales and bots can come in after. We think this is just one use case that we can show of how to radically improve the user experience for every real user and every project that cares about catering to their real users primarily. That's our pitch. Thank you. Feel free to reach out to me. I've got my email, my Twitter, and find us at Damos Global.
Thanks. Can you talk a bit about what data you actually collect?
Yeah, so when you sign up, there's two processes that happen. One is you prove you're a real person, not a bot. That happens locally. The other is your proof of uniqueness, which is essentially a hash summary of all these different facial features, the concavity of your cheek, those types of things. That's an output hash. That gets stored and compared against the other users to prove that you're unique. And then for proof of liveness, to come back to prove you're the same person, that your hash continues to be the same when you come back.
Okay, so you have the liveliness check, which is fine, but the unique features that you capture, is that associated with a particular individual?
It's a many-to-many. So there's a lot of users, there's a lot of inputs, but it's not necessarily this wallet is this person.
Okay, so you're not creating a kind of honeypot of biometric
Absolutely
data.
not.
Yeah. Okay.
I cannot say the same about competitors.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so the token, you get a token that basically says you're alive. Your wallet is attached to a live person, and you have to. How often do you have to re-up that?
Great question. So this is up to the projects. When you enroll, you get a soulbound token that says two things. One, you're a unique person. Two, when you enrolled, the timestamp. The proof of liveness refreshes that timestamp. So if there's a higher stakes setting, there's a big airdrop, and a project is concerned about accounts being sold over the counter or some type of coordination attack, they can look for a fresh proof of liveness. They can also look at the original enrollment and look for people who have been enrolled a long time. So it's really up to the project that integrates.
So it's just an attribute in the token
Exactly.
that you're issuing? Okay, and then so we've seen like on Fido has similar, like it looks similar, like when you're validating a person, you're really speaking strictly to wallets. What kind of options are there with AI that you think are going to get sort of in the way of spoofing your liveness detection?
Yeah, great question. The technology that we use is also used in high stakes settings, banking authentication, the LinkedIn verification now. The way that we see it is there's much higher stakes games that AI actors could play. And because of that, there's much higher stakes iterative security that's happening. So we kind of get the benefit of a low stakes use case with high stakes security on the back end.
Cool. And if you were amazingly successful, and conceive of having like a market where you could go pay for, 1,000 live wallets, right? Would there be any way, if you found out that one was being used by a bot, that you could repeal that that validation?
Yes. So there is a repeal or a purge process. Probably what's going to happen, Sybil resistance is kind of an iterative game as well. We can start to do reactive detection if that's something that we see. We also allow users to unenroll. So same type of feature, different use case, but if someone loses their wallet or they just want to get out, they can also take themselves off.
Great, thanks. Any other?
No questions.
Okay, and so and did you say that this is live now, or this is?
Yes, we're live for about a month. Excuse me. On Polygon, and then multi-chain once we fly back home.
What do you think the first, what you said, the bots and the airdrops and things like that. What do you think the first really high, high stakes service is going to be that catches for this? What's going to really say, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and we have to do liveness?
Yeah, so we're working with an upcoming Bitcoin L2. We're going to help gate their airdrop. That should be a great use case. Airdrops are a lot of money, a lot of users, and if you can more equitably distribute the airdrop funds, it's so much better all around.
Great. Okay, thanks a lot.
Great, thank you guys.
Is Claire here yet? Nope, Claire's not here. Okay. Then let's see. Next up, we have. No, I just can't keep this up. Epic Protocol. You guys ready to go? Okay. Thanks a lot. So you see us all looking down, the judges looking down at our thing. They're doing it on their phones. They're scoring. We're not just texting all of our friends, even though it's bad optics. But we are actually scoring everything, and I'm actually using it on my laptop, doing it on the DoraHacks platform. So it's kind of fun.
I'm writing meticulous notes down.
Cool. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey there, you're on. Let's go.
Thank you. How are you doing, everyone?
Fabulous.
Good morning. So yeah, we are Epoch Protocol, and we are here to automate anything for you. We say that we are Zapier for Web3. Our investors are Longash and Safe, and we are also part of Consensus Fellowship Program. Let's understand the problem a bit deeper. Have you ever faced a problem that you're doing repetitive tasks on-chain, like depositing money, buying something, doing DCA, creating SIP, or maybe claiming rewards on-chain? This can be boring tasks that you have to do every day, every month, every week. We are here to automate everything for you. You can automate literally anything on-chain using triggers that can be on-chain, off-chain, or time-based with us. Let's understand the problem a bit deeper. So for B2C customers out here in Web3, there is no Zapier or IFTTT-like tool which users can directly use and then automate and then go to any dApp and then automate any transaction that they want. There are some plug-and-play solutions which require custody of the user funds. Like let's say there are some solutions out there are some protocol out there where you'll have to deposit your money, or you'll have to give them approval of your tokens, or you'll have to use their smart contract, trust their smart contract, so that you don't get wrecked, right? So there's a lack of non-custodial tools in which way you can automate your transactions. And for developers out here, you spend a lot of time creating in-house automation tools for the projects that you're working on. Solution for all of this is that for Zapier and IFTTT-like tool, we have created our own automation protocol and a really simple website app that user can go and use and automate any transaction in Web3. It's really pluggable. I'll just show you a demo right now. And then to solve the non-custodial part, we have built it on top of account abstraction, where user keeps the custody of the fund. They don't need to deposit the money into our smart contract. We don't have a smart contract at all. Users are directly interacting with the end protocol. Let's say if user wants to automate a transaction on Uniswap, they are interacting with Uniswap smart contract or Aave smart contract. They don't give us approval. They don't deposit any money. They keep the custody of their funds and everything. They just sign a transaction with the call data and then give it to us, and we run our own bundle nodes and do automation on top of that. Then for the third thing, we have created a really simple SDK using which developers can automate any task in their projects or their website for X fastest. Now let's see a product demo. So this is a really simple website that we have created where normal users can go. Over on the top, you'll see a wallet connect button. It's not there. We have already connected the wallet. So we deploy a safe wallet for you. Then user can go to any website. So if I just, sorry. Yeah, so just click on wallet connect and then user can go to any website that they want, do any transaction that they want to do. How do they connect to website? Is that they just go to any website, like right now I'm going to Aave. Just click on connect wallet, just click on wallet connect and then copy the URI over there. And then paste it back into our website. And then once you paste it, your wallet is now connected to the dApp. Your website is now connected to the dApp. And then all the transaction that you do on that dApp, like Aave, it gets recorded onto the website. So we go back to Aave, click a supply, like do a supply transaction, like supply 0.001 Matic, click approval over here, and then you'll see the transaction simulation in the bottom part, in the action section. You can go to as many dApp, you can connect as many dApp, chain all the transaction, create extensive workflows, degen workflow that you want to automate. So here you see the transaction. Other way to add transaction is to directly go to any scan, Polygon scan, Linear scan, BNB scan. This is for some time that you want to copy someone else's transaction. Let's say you want to copy my transaction, I want to copy Vitalik's transaction. So depositing it to Aave and then change some values over here so that I can customize it for myself. So just go over there, copy the transaction hash, again go back to our website, paste the click transaction hash and paste it over here, and then we'll fetch the details for you. Now you'll see a pop-up that where you can modify the transaction or keep the transaction data unchanged. So modify, let's say the transaction was to deposit $100 in Aave, and you want to deposit $1,000 on Aave, you can change that over here. You will see a small form where you can change the data in a much better way. Just click on submit, and the transaction will again get added to the action sections over here. It will just take a time to simulate all the transaction again for you. And then, yeah, now it's here. You see a transaction, last transaction is deposit 1 Matic that we copied from the Polygon scan. Now at the last part, to automate all this kind of things, we have triggers. So let's say you want to do all this transaction based on time that I want to send this transaction on chain on 4th of July, 21st August, anything. You can select time-based transaction, select a date and time, and the transaction will go live onto the blockchain at that time. You can select on-chain events. So just paste any contract address or search for the contract address that we already have, select the event and then put some condition. If else, then anything condition. So let's say you want to place a transaction based on Uniswap liquidity pool pricing that it's greater than or less than X amount, you can do that thing. For now, we'll send this transaction using token received trigger. So I want to send this all transaction when I receive a particular token, for example, USDT or USDC. So you just click a token from a list, or you can paste a contract address directly and then select also, you can also enter amount that you want to set, that minimum I should receive 500 USDT, then I want to do this transaction or anything. Now you just have to sign a MetaMask transaction, MetaMask signature, and that's it. And your transaction is there to be automated. So we have talked to our users and we have found out, so we are testing out the product and testing out the infrastructure, and we have learned that there is the consolidations of users that where they want to use automation in apart from the general product. So there are DeFi solutions that they want to use, like they want to create limit orders on Uniswap V2-based DEX. So we have created this simple UI for them, for those users, where they can select any DEX which is live and then create a limit order based on that DEX. So it's actually a market order, but with a trigger that this should be the price in the pool, that 1 Matic should be whatever price, and then it's the market order becomes a limit order. Other place is a streaming platform for recurring transactions. So we have integrated with Sablier over here, where user can duplicate or withdraw, like automatically withdraw their Sablier stream. And there are a couple of more use cases like ETH staking or something around that we are working on. Now if you go back to the website and you see just your scheduled transactions are there and it's waiting to be automated over here. Yeah, that's Epoch protocol. Let's go back to the pitch deck now. So yeah, for the number lovers out here, we are already live on beta mainnet. We have more than 12,000 beta signups to test out this product, out of which we have approved 3,000 beta testers. We are backed by Longash and Safe. We are part of Consensus Fellowship Program, and we are live on 4+ chains right now. For the roadmap, currently everything that you've seen is working. So right now we are testing out the infrastructure, robustness, reliability of the whole infrastructure, creating more use case like limit orders, recurring payments, ETH staking, couple of things around that. In Q2, we'll be working on adding off-chain API hooks. So let's say you want to send a transaction when Barcelona wins a match. So you can plug an API which gives you the data and then buy a transaction, buy an NFT, Barcelona NFT on-chain using that thing. In Q3, we'll be working on adding pluggable modules and bundlers, AI agents. So you just have to say that I want to invest into some deepin-based tokens, and then we'll create a portfolio for you which you can also automate using us. And in Q4, we'll be working on creating a decentralized bundle nodes where all this transaction will be there in a shared mempool, and it will be available for every time, and it will give us 100% automation reliability. Now for the team, we've got the best team over here. I have my co-founders over there sitting in the audience, so Abhimanyu and Marank, great co-founders. I work with Abhimanyu. Me and Abhimanyu co-founded Orange Wallet, which got acquired by a big CeFi company later on. We all work for the big Web3 organization, have contribution in really big open source projects out there. We have been mentors and judges in ETHDenver and other Ethereum and non-Ethereum based hackathons. And we all of us have individually won more than 15 hackathons. That's a big thing, I would say. Yeah, and right now, we are raising $2 million in a seed round, which will help us to do marketing, go to market, and hire more people. Yeah, that's us. I'm open for any questions.
Thank you. Could you talk briefly about your revenue model?
Revenue model. So yes. So our revenue model is depending on the amount, like the type of transaction that you automate. So let's say you're a user and you do some kind of really degen, really complex automations. Let's say you want to create a transaction where every time you receive $500 worth of USDT, you want to go to Uniswap, exchange it with Ethereum, like do a swap with Ethereum, then go to Rocket Pool, stake that Ethereum, and then again restake it using EigenLayer or Kelp DAO, then put it again on Aave, and you want it to be there every time, every week, based on the and also in an off-chain API condition. So depending on the computation that we require to run your automation, the gas will be same and the transaction cost will be same for the users.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so I've got two big questions. One is, you mentioned it's like Zapier, but really it seems like it's all the functionality is running only while you're connected so really it's more of like a smart execution wallet that's functioning on your browser. Am I wrong about that?
Yes. So actually the transaction that you sign goes to our bundler. So we run a bundler network. Right now we are the only one who's running the bundler.
So you're running it?
Yeah, we are running
it's not running in the browser. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to use up all your time. The other question is,
yeah.
How are you going to make money with this?
So with the revenue model that we said, right? So the money is to be made with businesses out there. So when we went to the businesses and pitched this idea, they were not that they wanted some reliable solution which is out there in the market and is trusted by the users. So we started working on the B2C solution where we can get the brand value and also test out the whole infrastructure, whole SDK with the numbers and the amount of transaction that we are getting, and then we can go back to businesses and generate more revenue from them. Because the revenue is depending on the number of transactions and the volume of automation that a user is doing.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One thing, while, let's see who's coming up. DSig, I think. What, 707's coming up? Okay, great. So 707 will be coming up and getting ready to present. While they're getting set up, I did want to, I don't think I really talked a little bit about what our judging criteria is here, because we are very early stage, but not quite as early stage as like the hackers would normally be. So the 4 criteria, and they're equally weighed, are business viability. So is there a way for this to end up making money? Is this a wow factor? How big is the wow factor here? Is this really something that people, this is functionality that I desperately need? Onboarding non-natives, high benefit to that. So some of the teams that are really speaking only to the already Web3 community lose out a little bit in this category, but we really are trying to bring the next billion people into Web3. And then finally, moving the needle. How does this really move the needle in getting Web3 technology really embedded in doing the everyday business of the internet? So let's see. You about ready to go? Okay. So this is 7007 Studio.
Hi everyone, this is Teddy, and Really happy to have all you guys here. I'm the co-founder of 7007 Studio, and we allow every user to exchange their imagination, creativity on blockchain. So we know everyone loves music, loves art, and it is born in our human nature. But not everyone has the ability to create like good piece of art or music. It takes years to learn guitar or even learn how to paint. But AIGC gonna change everything. So now we can create a great masterpiece just by putting in some words in our screen, and we can keep on regenerating until we are satisfied with the result. So the intention and the purpose of creating an art piece is now a new kind of asset on blockchain. So on 7007 Studio, our goal is to make everyone a top artist on blockchain. You can start a whole new AIGC collection, and we will train a model for you if you can provide all the data you wanted to train with. And the whole community will co-create a collection with you. They are now not just buying a static image or a static music on blockchain. They now can customize the result they wanted. We have a better engagement between the artists and the users. But how do we make this happen? Our team is part of the contributor of the EIP standard 7007. It is an extension of the 721. So it includes a proof to verify if a content is actually generated from specific model. So the ERC 7007 not just contains the metadata itself, it also contains the proof and also the prompt. So in our design, each prompt can only be used once. So we will do revenue share to the first prompt creator based on the similarity on the platform. But how do we make this happen? Because we know to inference on chain, the size is really big and it costs a lot, and it's not affordable for everyone to do so. And we cannot even use the most popular models to create it. So instead of using ZKML, we use optimistic machine learning. It is affordable, and it has been launched on testnet, on Ethereum testnet with stable diffusion running already. So the design of 7007 Studio, we directly integrate the AI models such as Llama 2 or Stable Diffusion, so everyone can provide their data and train a sub-model immediately and create a whole AIGC collection. It allows their community members to come up to platform and mint and create their own customized NFTs. And each prompt will link to a unique result and will be secure with ERC 7007 and also the OPML. So the whole process of creation will be fully on-chain. And each prompt will link to a revenue share mechanism. So for example, if I create an NFT called the Blue Monkey, the next one who uses a prompt really similar to Blue Monkey will have to share the revenue to me. So here it will be showing a quick demo. It is currently running on Sepodia testnet. So as we can see, we do a prompt beautiful music, and we can inference it immediately with stable diffusion. Yeah, and we can mint it. As a NFT, and you can keep on regenerating it until you feel satisfied with the result. And we have a built-in marketplace for everyone to list their creations on the platform, and all the NFT could be traded. So it's not just the NFT, it includes the prompt. Yeah. So here's a part we integrate one of our partner projects called the Story Protocol. So each generation can be registered as an IP asset on their platform and could have further monetization in the future by giving out license or to all the creators around the world to do remix. Yeah. Yeah, so we work with several partners such like Story Protocol, as I mentioned, and also eStorage and Aura, and also Stratos Network to make on-chain inference possible for everyone on Ethereum. And currently, we are is a self-funded project, and we are about to bootstrap by mid-March. But we are also open to investors to invest in the first round, and we are raising $5 million with token warrant. And thank you, that's all.
Thank you.
What are the tokens used for in this one?
We are a platform, so we could charge users some fees, but I know it's not competitive in the crypto space. But we do have plans to launch a token, but currently we don't have a fully designed for utilities.
Okay. And then the main piece here is that a creative can prove that I created this prompt. Essentially, I own this prompt for this particular model, and then try and share what our IP.
It's not just about owning models and prompts. It's about you can provide your own data, and we will train a model for you. So, for example, you can provide data set for like 100 pictures of cats, and we train it for you with Stable Diffusion, and you create an AIGC collection on the platform. So every user can come up to the platform and they can mint one of the NFTs with your model, and they will be like the community members of your collection.
So could you do something? I mean, like, I'm trying to figure out where the stickiness of this is. Could you go to like a nonprofit that wants to raise money, and they get a bunch of people that all talk about what they want to put together, and then they end up making an NFT collection that they're raising money? Like what? Where's the connection to sort of a big organization that's just not around only Web3, but brings them in?
I mean, we start from trying to utilize the technologies we are working on, such as the EIP standard and OPML. So going nonprofit could be an option, but the team have to keep on operating, right?
Oh no, I mean them as a customer. I mean having them come to you as a customer using the service. Like if they wanted to do that, but is that a viable use?
Sorry, I don't get the question. What do you mean?
It's okay. It's too much for a quick discussion over coffee, maybe. Any other questions? No? Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So I think DSIG is coming up next, and then after that, we're going to have a presentation from DoraHacks, and the judges are going to try to make sure that our feet still work. Here you go.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Hein. I am the co-founder of DSIG, and I'm here today to present to you about our omnichain smart multisig. So as you see on the screen, we actually have won 4 hackathons in the last 10 months from Sui, KuCoin, Zetachain, and also Solana. And we are also an active member in Consensus Scale program. So actually what we are trying to do is redefine the way our users are utilizing multisig. It doesn't have to be the only ways through Gnosis. And we believe in like the world of competition, it will make people like work harder and also like bring out the best for the users. So what we're trying to do is solving what the current traditional multisig is offering an alternative. So we offering a multisig that built on MPC TSS technology that allows you to have the EOA level DApp connection. Technically, you can use a multisig wallet of DSIG on the Chrome extension and connect with any other DeFi apps natively. And we actually already deploy on 23 blockchains, not limited to EVM, also on Solana, Sui, and Aptos. And upcoming, we're also deploying on Bitcoin native network and also the Cosmos chains. So you will be able to like using your multisig wallet and connect to all of the dApps out there. In addition, because all of this happen, like the proposal approvals being executed off-chain, so you will save a lot of monthly costs in order to approve the proposals. And additionally, for our multisig wallet, once you create a vote, there is like one vote, one wallet address, and it's going to be applicable for all of the chains that you are managing the fund at the moment. So technically, you don't have to generate new vote address every time you create a new multisig. It's like one user ID, one vote, and then multiple chains that is supporting at the moment. Additionally, with the current usage of the multisig, the money is actually being locked behind a very secure safe. So what we're trying to do is, what if you want to gain use from these like medium term like holding money? So what we're trying to offer is like offering yield options for the tokens. So we have detected there are typically like 3 types of tokens multisig users are storing at the moment. First is Bitcoin, second is stablecoins, and third is native tokens. So we're trying to offering the yield options within the wallet for these tokens, or you can use the Chrome extension to connect with any other DeFi apps with your choice. One of the options we bring that we find it's very innovative is actually an omnichain consolidated gas tank. What we've been trying to do is offering a chain abstraction gas solution. So for users, you only have to depositing ETH one time, and we will use Zeta-Chain technology and also our own technology to converting that ETH to become other native to powering gas on all of the EVM transactions. So for users, you only have to depositing ETH one time, and since we plan to leave it on Plus, you can also earn a native yield from Plus. Additionally, what we're trying to do is to provide a comprehensive cash flow report so that for any teams or like projects who would like to use a multisig with like an accounting management system, we will be able to deliver that. The staking aggregator here is what we're trying to do is to providing the yield options that I have mentioned earlier for the native tokens. It will be a streamlined dashboard aggregating all of the validators and liquidity staking platform available on that chain, and we will suggest for you like the best route that offering the highest yield, and it really depends on you to choose like which validator or like which liquidity staking platform you would like to utilize. Summary is like this is how our multisig wallet is looking at. It has smart utilities, it has omni-chain solution, it's scalable in nature. We be able to deploy at least like 2 chains per month, and it has like the comprehensive features for your usage. We have detected there are multiple use cases that can be used with the multisig wallet. It's actually a very broad spectrum. From this end, it can be developers using a multisig to deploying a node to do arbitrary transactions. In the middle, you can imagine like teams or like projects who want to use multisig for treasury management to deploy payroll. And then on the inside, you might find it's very popular that retail users would like to co-investment. So what we're trying to offering next would be like a dashboard that break down like the contribution of each depositing money. So when you do co-investment and then you buy and you sell that asset, it will show like how much like proportionate each person can get in that multisig. Our go-to-market plan right now is to cover wherever Gnosis F cannot support at the moment. So that's why we're already available on 23 chains, including Solana, Sui, and Aptos. And upcoming, we're going to Bitcoin native and the Cosmos chains. So the multisig wallet is actually just the forefront consumer applications that we are planning to deploy. It's already in open alpha. It's already available on iOS, Android, and Chrome extension store. You actually can download and try it for now. But at the same time, we also want to offering multisig as a service. So we will also do customized multisig solution and also white label solution. Ultimately, because this technology is built on top of the MPC network, and it's a very heavy and expensive network. So we want to launch a decentralized MPC network, and later on we want to have different nodes and partner running that. And also when it's open to public, community can also stake token in these nodes and then help validating and make the network more decentralized. This is how we have like deployed. So we have expanded on. Actually, right now it's already like 23 blockchains in like 10 months. So average like 2 to 3 blockchains per month. We have strategic partnerships with directly with the blockchains. So what we're doing, actually, if you can take a look easily, it's being retweet or like being like code retweet like from the blockchain directly. So whenever we deploy on a new chain, we will work directly with the blockchain to do live announcement, blog post, ecosystem page, and then be added in the builder group in order to introduce us with like other founders in the group to get like customer feedback and also get validation. This is so far the traction we already have. We have 200,000 testnet token holders. This is a proof of concept to prove that like the product is being, people are interested in like the new way to utilize multisig. We actually have over 1.5 total value lock already because it's an open alpha, so this number is not quite big, but we are proud of that number. And currently, we have around, the actual number is 2,000 weekly active users at the moment, over 10,000 downloads, and over 7,000 transactions on-chain. These you can check like on-chain. So this is just a summary of our of the traffic of our website. We have around like 40,000 monthly traffic every day, every month, and mostly coming from mobile. This is our Twitter account, and we have built it from the ground with no pay ads or bots at all. It's all about like communications, marketing, trying to let people know like we bring an options to their multisig. This is our team. So my tech co-founder cannot be here today, but he is also one of the few one that actually be a cryptographer in Vietnam, and our whole team is also based in Vietnam. Currently, we're raising a pre-seed round at 900K with 8 million valuation pre-money via SEF and token warrant. And that's it for my presentation today. Open the floor for questions.
Guys, I wish you had a little more time, so I'm a signer on like 50 safes, and you know, anything that makes it easier. I'm trying to imagine in my mind how the UX could, if it's multi-chain as well, and so you have safes that are multi-chain, how the interface would actually look. And I know you don't have enough time, but in future presentations, I'd recommend like showing that UX, because if it's good, people like me will get very excited. We actually still designing it right now, so the version that is actually live. So what we imagine is, so there are 3 hierarchy, right? So once you create a wallet, you will create a user ID. So with user ID, there will be a screen. It's gonna show you all of the votes that you have. For example, you have like ETHDenver vote, you have like ETHCC vote, like that. And in that vote, you will have like different like signers you already setting up at the beginning. And when you go into the vote, there will be like multiple chains in that vote. So what we're trying to do is designing a comprehensive dashboard to get you all of the aggregated data on each level, so that you can have an overview. Like for a user ID, what do you have? For a vote, what do you have? For a chain, what do you have? Yeah. Okay, thanks. We're over time. Thanks though, and thanks for changing your flight so that you could stay and do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. So next we're going to take a, we're going to have DoraHacks, Claire and Brian are going to come up and talk a little bit, and we're going to take a little 5-minute stretch for the judges. Okay, thanks. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Hey everyone, thanks for being here. All good? Oh. Okay, yeah, no problem. All right, I guess we're waiting another 2 minutes or so. Okay, thanks everyone for being here. My name is Brian. I'm with DoraHacks. Really want to share my appreciation with the BV and ETHDenver team for giving us the opportunity to speak here today and also host the Pitchfest on our platform. We've been friends with them for a while. We actually hosted ETHDenver on our platform in 2022. And hope to do more collaborations with BV and ETHDenver in the future. They're a really great organization, and obviously they put on this amazing event every year, give everyone free lunch. So definitely give it up for them. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. So just really happy to be here and be able to support Pitchfest. So if you don't know about DoraHacks, we are one of the largest multi-chain developer incentive platforms. And basically what that means is we facilitate hackathons, provide hackathon infrastructure, facilitate grant programs, provide other community funding opportunities and on-chain initiatives like quadratic funding, direct grants, public goods funding, and investments for probably the top 200 Web3 ecosystems at this point. We've been around since 2014. We have over 100,000 monthly active developers on our platform. And actually, we've probably delivered north of 60 million. This slide's a little bit outdated. It's about 60 million now of prizes awarded across all of the opportunities and developer activations on our platform. So that's DoraHacks, and then of course there's also Dora Ventures, which I'll get into in a little bit, but that's a new fund we spun up earlier this year that's focused on pre-seed opportunities in the modular ecosystem, specifically app chains and other types of modular middleware, and of course also capitalizing the most promising hackathon teams that emerge from our platform and providing them additional incubational resources. So something interesting that we do that maybe makes us a little bit different than other hackathon vendors is we don't actually really see ourselves as a vendor or hackathon platform at all. Certainly, it's where we were born, and it's a big part of what we do. But really, we strive to be a long-term ecosystem builder along with each of the communities we work with. We want to provide resources from the inception of a Web3 community throughout its entire lifespan. So something we do to make this sustainable and be able to provide sustainable funding opportunities to developers is actually participate, create, and design a vast suite of on-chain infrastructure that actually generates rewards from on-chain activity. These are things like smart contracts, obviously. These are things like validator nodes for proof-of-stake networks. And other types of infrastructure support for other types of app chains or rollups. This is something we do for basically all of our partners, and what it allows us to do is fund developers with native block rewards. And it's actually how we help our ecosystem partners fund hackathons, like for example prize pools, like that funding needs to come from somewhere, matching pools for QF, that money needs to come from somewhere, direct grants also obviously need to be sourced from somewhere, but we can actually do all of this just with our infrastructure that we run. Makes it very easy for partners to work with us and us to be able to fund their communities long-term in very sustainable manner. And of course from the venture POV, this obviously is a great way to help really maybe even pre-MVP projects that have an idea, get some initial ecosystem funding, and kind of set them on the right track to becoming an investable target, once they become a little bit more mature, at that pre-seed or seed stage. So this, previously what we called this was public good staking. And it was a way to sustainably fund developers long-term through block rewards, as I mentioned, as a part of all of our hackathon and other developer activations that we do. But earlier this year, we've actually transitioned this idea to something called proof of BIDL. And basically the reason behind this is because we want our platform to become more of a marketplace for our partners and for developers that participate in it. And what I mean by this is we have a lot of resources on our platform, and we want our developers on our platform to get the best experience possible from our ecosystem partners. So obviously we want our partners to offer the developers the best opportunities possible as well. And by turning our developer platform and our hackathon platform into more of a marketplace that actually enables different ecosystems to compete for these resources, to take a stake in our marketplace and compete for the developers and incentivize the developers to participate in their hackathons and to prioritize their ecosystem, we're actually able to create kind of a more synergistic relationship with the developers on our platform and with our ecosystem partners and hackathon organizers that want access to these resources and to this developer talent. Kind of two ways we aid this is Dora Grant DAO, which is actually our internal incubator that we help early stage projects, most promising teams from hackathons, receive continuation funding. And kind of what we can do with Dora Grant DAO is we almost white label this Grant DAO system for all of our other partners. This is what I mean by providing ecosystem funding to the different communities we work with. Providing native block rewards to the different ecosystems we work with. This is essentially a decentralized ecosystem fund that's operated on our platform, and we do this for all of our partners. It's a great way to provide continuation funding to a lot of the teams that emerge from hackathons. And the second thing is Dora Ventures. This, once again, is a little bit for more mature companies, but still pretty early, pre-seed. We're really focused on capitalizing the most promising teams that emerge from our hackathon pipeline. Obviously, this is a pretty strong proprietary pipeline from global hackathons and for all the different Web3 ecosystems we run. So very happy to help promote and support the best teams that emerge from hackathons. It's kind of a very top of funnel thing. And then of course, obviously very focused on app chains. I only have 40 seconds left, so I'll go to the last slide, which is something I'm really excited to reveal to everyone here. And that is the app chain ecosystem. This is something we're really interested in. at Dora Ventures and DoraHacks. We've actually created this app chain ecosystem mapping a number of times now, starting from over 2 years ago. And at first, it was really only like rollups on Ethereum and app chains in Cosmos, and that's what it was for the first 2 iterations. But now we see app chains coming to every single ecosystem. Every single ecosystem is promoting their own stack, right? With Ethereum, that teams, and I think the lines blur. I'll just say this, between rollups and app chains, it's kind of semantics, in my opinion. At the end of the day, it's just a trend of different ecosystems and different developers wanting to sell their own sovereign block space, right? You can do that through a rollup, you can do that through an app chain. That's the trend, you know, whether it's a rollup or an app chain or even an AVS on EigenLayer, that just depends on how you want to proceed with like whatever application you want to build in a modular way. But at the end of the day, it's kind of all the same thing. And there's all these different frameworks now. It used to just be the Cosmos SDK for Cosmos, and on Ethereum, obviously, it was the OP stack and Arbitrum Nitro stack. But these types of frameworks are coming to every single ecosystem now. Polygon just announced their CDK, Chain Development Kit. Obviously, their Substrate on Polkadot as well. That's one of the older ones. Avalanche just announced the Hyper SDK, which is their own app chain framework. And then on even EigenLayer, AVS, that's an app chain framework as well, and you're seeing a lot of different projects, whether it's Ethos, whether it's AltLayer or Omni Network, launching their own app chains as an AVS and EigenLayer. And we imagine this will continue. Even Solana, which is a very monolithic ecosystem, it's something that the foundation is very proud about, it being so integrated. Even this has modularity coming to it, and app chains are coming to it. We're seeing shared sequencers built on the SVM. We're seeing Solana app chains like PithNet or Cube Exchange being launched. And we're seeing teams like Nitro working on isolating the SVM for its modular deployment on top of a rollup or on top of an app chain. So this is just a huge trend we're seeing, and it's a big focus of Dora Ventures. So just really excited to reveal this to you all today. If anyone else is interested in app chains, please feel free to come up to me and say hi. I'd love to talk about them. But that's it for me, guys. Really happy to be here supporting Pitchfest from DoraHacks perspective as well. Really hope our platform continues to grow and support developers all over the world and be able to sustainably fund the best teams. So thanks, everyone, and welcome to Pitchfest. Hope everyone's having a good time.
Okay, let's get our judges back up and get this show back on the road. Omar, did you need that break as much as I did?
Sorry?
Did you need that break as much as I did?
Yeah, this Celsius is really giving me
Oh boy, yeah. If you start asking questions really quickly, then we'll know. Terry, where are you? We'll give him a minute. Let's go ahead and get, who is next? Is Open Dollar next, or? Yep, okay. We'll go ahead and get set up. Got your fanboys out there. That's pretty good. That's. Okay. Let's give Terry another minute to get up. So we're waiting for our right now he's the invisible judge. So we'll give him another minute to come up. You will not be penalized for this time. So as a founder, if you're out there, a surprisingly large amount of your time will be spent waiting for funders to meet with you in meetings. So just get used to it now.
There's also like 1,000 of these over there. If anyone wants any of these guys.
Can you ask somebody to get them to bring
Yeah,
some
actually,
over?
I'll do it right now. Let's get a whole
Let's
bucket full.
reward everyone. And by the way,
Everyone here gets a Zeke.
oh my gosh, let's give out present. Hey, where's Peter? I can't see because of the lights. Peter, do you mind grabbing some shirts, and I'll ask questions and let people raise their hands, and if they can answer them, then I will. Then we can give them stuff. We'll give them things. Okay. Let's see. What was the spirit animal that was last year for ETHDenver? Raise your hand if you know. Right there? Okay. Well, Sporky. But we'll give it to you. Sporky. Let's see. And also all the competitors here will be getting a golden spork. So you have that to look forward to. Does anyone know why the spork is the utility of choice for ETHDenver? Any hands? Scott, we're going to give it to you, but you know, you're supposed to raise your hand. So Scott knew. Scott's also one of our LPs, so you just got, y'all got scooped by one of our LPs. I see him. He's here. The man of the hour. Okay. The problem is it's so far to walk here. It's just hard to get anywhere. And now we are back to our regularly scheduled program. If anybody has interesting things to tell Peter, then you can come up to him and he'll give you a shirt or something. Oh, no worries. It's a long way to get to the back and forth to this. Okay, Allocate. Go for it.
Awesome. Hey guys, we are Allocate. We've built a solution for on-chain asset allocation and management with self-custody. Today, there are thousands of people in Web3 who doesn't have time and expertise to go through each token. There's always a fear while connecting your EOA wallet to a new protocol. I mean, we all know how much APR we can get, but there's always an underlying hack that can happen in the protocol. That's why there's always this fear. And also, when you want someone else to manage your assets or tokens, you have to literally send it to someone, which means that you end up losing your self-custody. While 24% of wealth in Web2 is being actively managed, this number is only 0.15% in Web3 because of all these reasons. Now it's time to bridge the gap. Allocate is built on top of Safe, which is an industry leader in smart secure wallets. As an investor, you can allocate your on-chain assets to a skilled manager without losing self-custody. You can also set different risk parameters like maximum drawdown, profit targets, etc. while doing the allocation. So basically, I can allocate it to someone, they can do the trades in my wallet, but they cannot withdraw the funds from my wallet. So these kind of permissions can be set in a smart wallet. But let's see how it works. We'll go through a very small demo. I'll take you through the whole process, how it works. To get started, this is how our UI looks. To get started, investor can create their own Safe account or can import an existing Safe account. They can select a fund manager. They can also see the list of approved protocols that a manager can interact with. By signing the transaction, allocation happens on chain. So it also triggers on-chain profit sharing agreement, which means that as an investor, whenever you remove the allocation, profit sharing happens between the manager and the investor in a trustless manner. Let's see what happens on the other end. As an asset manager, you get a bird-eye view of all the allocated wallets on your address. As a fund manager, you can see the individual breakdown of assets in each wallet. Currently, we are live on testnet. We have integrated Uniswap SDK. Like, as a fund manager, you can do multiple things. You can swap the tokens, you can stake it, you can restake it. I mean, as a next step, apart from doing it manually, we are also integrating different strategies that you can import or connect as a fund manager. So we are live on testnet with Uniswap SDK. We are integrating staking right now, and probably will go ahead with restaking and integrate multiple other DeFi protocols. So there can be multiple use cases for this product, but we have identified these three as the top ones. So anyone running, the first one, anyone running a small and medium liquid fund can get the allocation from HNIs in a trustless manner using Allocate. The second one, there are so many influencers who have their trading communities on Twitter and Telegram. So they can bring their community on board here on Allocate and get the allocation in a trustless manner. And we all have, thirdly, we all have that friend who claims to be a degen or claims to have done 100x. So as a person, I can allocate my assets to their wallet. The allocation can happen in a EOA wallet, or any smart wallet. This is the team behind the project. I am Ayush. I'm leading the product. I've been into the Web3 space since 2017 and have won the prestigious X Prize challenge. Paras is also in the crowd. He is the BizDev co-founder. He's a second-time founder. Previously, he scaled a consumer brand to $5 million ARR with a successful exit. Shivam is the founding engineer. He has a strong tech leadership background in the previous startups, and he's spearing it with the tech development at Allocate. So we have been trusted and backed by AlphaWave, Polygon, Longhash, and Safe, like good investors in the space. Apart from that, we have some great angels who are also builders in the Web3 space, like Tarun, who is from CoinShift, which is building like DAO treasury management on top of Safe. Sandeep from Polygon, Aniket from Bioeconomy, who's leading the charge and smart wallets in the space, and Potter from ETHSign. We have received allocation commitments of 500K from HNIs and asset managers. So these are the people who are going to come on board and use the product. Thanks, everyone. That's it from my side. You can reach out to us. We are live on testnet, so you can also try the product by scanning the QR code.
So that was great. So I'm just trying to think of it as the way most people think of asset managers in CeFi, where you have some who actively manage your funds, and then you have others that just give you good ideas. They're like, and there's different licensing schemes and stuff. So where would your solution fit in for the existing, CeFi type managers and licensed folks? Like what groups of them might leverage this kind of a solution?
So basically, there are some quant fund managers like B Protocol, Token Labs. So these are the people we are talking to get them on board, so that they can run some strategies like manual or their own strategies. They can build some strategies on the back end, so that we can focus on the demand side, so that we can bring in the consumers to use the product. So on CeFi, what happens is that everything is like nothing is in custody. Even if you're copy trading a trader, it's in custody of a CeFi underlying. Right. So, but in this case, you maintain the self-custody of the assets that you own, and there's just an allocation module that we add to your smart wallet, which makes this happen, make this possible.
Great. And let's see, how much have you raised so far?
So we've raised so far 700K, and we'll also start our next round of funding. Right now, we are planning for mainnet, like we're going on Arbitrum, so we're planning for that. So by end of April, we are launching the mainnet.
And do you're built on top of Safe, but do you have any other like smart contracts that you're leveraging that you've done the audits for and everything? All of that's been done?
Yeah, so after Safe, we are going with Bioeconomy because they're already there in the space. And right now, since we are in testnet, we are already talking to some security peoples to audit our main contract that we have built. So we've built our contract like in a modular manner, so that we can like plug in different apps that we built in the future.
Great.
What's the fee model?
So it's not very clear right now, but in a traditional asset management space, what happens is the manager takes a fee based on AUM or based on profit, like performance of the fund. So that is where we are going to get the take rate from the profits that the asset managers are going to make. But we are talking to users to like solidify this plan.
Will you be offering investment advice or research?
Sorry?
Will you be offering investment advice or research, which is typical of an asset manager?
Who will be advising? Who will be providing this? You mean?
No, will you be providing?
No, no.
that?
We're just the technology enabling the investor and the fund manager.
Any other questions? Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Okay, I think next up we have Open Dollar. Open Dollar's been around a lot this whole event. I've seen you guys every day.
I think we've got a trolley of Zeeks right there coming in. Right there in the back.
Oh yeah. You get a Zeke, and you get a Zeke.
Everybody gets a Zeke. Who doesn't like Zeke?
The rumors are true. Open Dollar is BuffiCorn approved.
Here, you want to throw some?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why don't we just give some to the crowd?
You should get that privilege. Let's give him a minute of Zeke throwing.
All right, a minute of Zeke throwing.
Here, you get a Zeke. Oh, it almost went wrong. Uh-oh. We got some over here.
Thank you for this Zeke.
Oh, look at that arm, Russ. Oh! Quarterback.
Okay. Oh, that rotator cuff loves me. Okay. Enough of this ridiculousness. There'll be more later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Go for it.
All right, now that we got that out of the way, ready to go?
We're ready. Go for
All right, let's kick it off. Hi everybody, I'm Joseph Shrizzi. I'm one of the founders of Open Dollar. We're a new LST-backed stablecoin on Arbitrum, which has tradable CDP vaults, and we're BuffiCorn approved. So right now in lending in DeFi, it's very inflexible because debt is tied to an account. Every lending protocol in DeFi, you cannot access your capital that you've deposited until your loans are paid back. But who here has a 30-year mortgage or a car payment or some other traditional financial loan, right? Would you ever take a 30-year mortgage on a house if you couldn't sell the house until your debt was paid back? No, nobody would do that, right? Nobody. That's a terrible deal. But that's exactly how lending works in DeFi right now on Aave, on Maker, on every other CDP protocol. You have to close your position to unlock your capital, right? And it's very capital inefficient, and it means that lending in DeFi can't be used for the majority of loans that exist in the world because the feature set is just not up to par with traditional finance. So our solution is to create non-fungible vaults where when you open a collateralized debt position, you deposit collateral, you borrow the Open Dollar stablecoin against it, and those positions are actually tradable vaults. They're non-fungible vaults, and they can be sold on a secondary loan marketplace. And it also means that you can get out of your debt positions, you can get out of your loans by selling your entire position. You never have to pay your debt back again. And if someone is holding a stablecoin, they can get out of the stablecoin and into the underlying collateral by buying someone else's vault and buying someone else's position, which makes the entire system safer and more flexible. Open Dollar is OD, our over-collateralized LST-backed stablecoin. Our business model is we charge a 2% stability fee. So when you borrow the OD stablecoin against collateral using our NFVs, you pay 2% per year. There's no deposit fees, there's no withdrawal fees, and 100% of the yield from assets that are deposited belongs to the depositor. So we're building something that is not for us to steal yield or take a cut in any way. It's really built to be as flexible and safe as possible for depositors and the people that are actually using it. Right now in the US, secondary loans, mortgage-backed securities, interest rate swaps, and similar types of products is several $1 trillion a year. And in DeFi, it's $0 a year because loans are inflexible, tied to accounts, and not tradable. The stablecoin market has been growing a lot in the last several months. And the demand for decentralized stablecoins comes from the demand for leverage on the underlying assets. So OpenDollar is actually the best place to get leverage on LSTs because you can get out of those positions by selling them instead of having to pay back your debt. And we can prevent margin calls by making our entire system more capital efficient. The LST market has been growing exponentially over the last year to year and a half. And Arbitrum has twice as much LST liquidity as any other L2, actually all of them combined. So it's the best place for us to launch an LST-backed stablecoin that is mostly backed by Lido ETH and Rocket Pool ETH, and we can add more tokens as the market grows and as our customers ask us to. There is a lot of competition on stablecoins. Liquidity is the top-rated stablecoin in terms of safety because of its redemption module. But we can facilitate similar stablecoin redemptions into underlying collateral through tradable vaults. And our fees are much less than some of the other competitors like Aave that has to attract capital for stablecoins for borrowing. Whereas OpenDollar, we can mint new OD, so we can do that much cheaper because we don't have to attract capital to do so. So I think our fees are really competitive and our differentiation is pretty unique. Our core team, our team is up to 8 or 9 people now. I'm Cuppa Joseph. Before working on this, I was building the marketplace behind OpenSea. I was the first developer relations person hired at Gitcoin, and I was the lead blockchain engineer at Airbus after working at Consensus. Our team has contributed to numerous DAOs like Metacartel, Spork DAO, Raid Guild, and has worked at a number of successful DeFi protocols. We recently hired Ivan to lead our BD team, and he just came to us from Lido. So Lido ETH customers are our customers, and we've already been building really incredible relationships with them and expecting to grow very fast as we get ready to launch. We raised a $2 million seed round. BuffiCorn Ventures was our first check into our seed round, so we're always incredibly grateful and to be BuffiCorn approved. Now we're beginning to work on raising a larger seed round from more investors. We've done a $35,000 Code Arena contest where we had over 300 contributors and auditors from around the world contribute to the OpenDollar code base. And we're currently finishing our last audit with QuantStamp right now before going live in the next few weeks. And yeah, that's OpenDollar, a brief overview. We're the most flexible stablecoin ever, and we're building a safer and more flexible lending environment in DeFi. Thank you. So what do you got?
All right. So obviously this is a very competitive space, right? There's
Yes.
a lot of other LST backed stablecoins. I guess what would you define as your edge compared to most of them? Is it mostly just around how you're able to open and close the positions?
Yes. So you can open and close positions much more efficiently because they're tradable, which means you're at a lower risk of getting margin called, which means you can take on more leverage. Which means the lending terms are just better and yeah, really built for people who are depositing. It's also, there's a lot of deals going into this. There's a lot of huge hedge funds who are sitting on $50, $100 million of Lido ETH and Rocket Pool ETH, right? And we can work with them to make more flexible loans and give them better terms. Most of the people working at crypto hedge funds and family offices who are large depositors, a lot of them come from mortgage-backed security trading desks, or they come from interest rate trading desks, right? And so when we say, hey, we're bringing the first secondary loan market to DeFi, they see money signs in their eyes, right? So it makes a lot of sense to make loans tradable like that. We can also work with huge DAO treasuries like Arbitrum DAO and others that are managed by Karpathy, who are holding ETH. They're long ETH. They don't want to have to sell those positions, but they want to be able to get access to capital really cheaply. And because we're minting new stablecoins and our stability module, I think, is a lot stronger just technically than others, we can mint at a cheaper rate and just be really competitive in the market. Thank you.
So I have a question about your fees.
Yes.
And you said that you got sort of an annual fee, not on deposit or withdrawal, which is great. But how do you calculate that? Or, I mean, is it because each time you basically make a deposit, is that a discrete instrument, or how do you?
Yeah, each vault that you deposit in is completely unique, and it has a fee associated with it that is a set fee for the year. It is on a timeline, and smart contracts accrue that debt to your account over time. So anyone can call the calculate taxes and calculate the debt on anyone's safe. We have bots that do it, but if somebody else wants to, they can. And yeah, it's totally open, transparent, and cannot be updated. A lot of lending protocols and stablecoin protocols, when you deposit, their DAO or their multisig or something else can change the fees that you're paying, and it makes variable rates very confusing and unpredictable. So in OpenDollar, the fees on a particular vault, for example, 1.85% on a Lido ETH vault that is 135% over collateralized, that cannot be updated by anyone. And is truly transparent, yeah, and ungoverned.
Great. Any other questions? No?
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you all
Thanks
for your
so
time.
much.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. So I think next we have, is it Synexus? Is that right? Come on up.
Awesome, yeah. Hello everyone, good morning. Pleasure to be here. I will ask you one very simple question. Would we like to have more startups to be successful? Yeah, it's a rhetoric question, I believe so, everyone agree on that. But unfortunately we have the data that tells us that more than 90% of startups fail. And I'm Pavel Vinitsky, I'm CEO and founder of Synexus. I'm a serial entrepreneur, business strategist and visionary for more than 20 years of experience. And yeah, I hold my PhD and MBA, and for the last 5 years I've been working mostly with startups. And what I found intensively networking and making interviews with more than 200 of investors and founders, that a number of issues are fundamentally broken in the industry. Then I started to dig deep on the data from trusted sources like Harvard, PwC and others, and just to verify my hypothesis. And what I found that one of the biggest issues is the co-founders' conflicts due to unequal involvement on the long run. And it leads to conflicts, it leads to loss of commitment, and it leads to failures of the companies. And for sure it's a red flag for investment. Then the second piece in intellectual property that should be protected from the very first day, but it's not due to lack of understanding of significance of that, lack of knowledge, lack of funds, and lack of workforce. The third piece, and that leads to problems with the IP claims, copyright claims in the future, and as well as extra competition created. And the third piece is the poor management of stakeholder management, and specifically investors' relations. It is why 92% of investors tell us that they have lack of transparencies in the company they invest money in. And it is why I founded and created Synexus as the single disruptive solution, comprehensive solution for the startups and investor ecosystems to help startups to fundraise and grow, and for investors to mitigate the risks. Synexus redefines co-founders' shared distribution, team commitment, and intellectual property protection, providing flawless transparency and automation and security to investors through the blockchain and AI-powered platform we create. We use all this beautiful tech that now is used for blockchain infrastructure and DeFi, such as ZKP and homomorphic encryption, in order to automate the things and put them on a new level. So, what we provide for startups? For startups, we provide a smart model for distributing tokens and equity based on the real commitment, and we do it on-chain, providing investors with the possibility to see what's going on with the team on the long term. Then we help to protect inbound intellectual property, that everything that's created for the company, like copyright, know-how, and all the ideas. And then as well as the outbound IP, I'd call it like that, we make the NDAs workable. So we help to protect sensitive data that is going out of the company to the third parties. And based on all this data, and as well as financial management data as KPIs, we collect all the data and generate the automated reports for investors that invested money in the company, as well as we help to we create the thing that we call transparency score, that it's instant metric, industry metric that helps to instantly find the best opportunities on the markets for investors. Using Zkey, we permit them to go deeper, and then we can provide a full level of reporting based using homomorphic encryption already. Yeah, and the next step of our development is AI as well, to automate and the legal documents generation and verification as well. So we operate in a very fast-growing market between legal, B2B SaaS, and venture capital, as well as we see the growth of the blockchain industry now. And we clearly see our opportunity to reach 15 million in revenues in the 5 years term. Our business model is very straightforward. It's a B2B SaaS on-chain completely, with a tiered model for startups based on their revenue, rounds, and region, as well as extra revenue based on the partners. We partner with legal firms and service providers. And they, for the same time, is a part of our go-to-market strategy due to our referral program. And we provide perks programs for accelerators, incubators, and ecosystems, as well as we consider VCs and angels as our partners as well. About the competition, the landscape, the competition is very fragmented, mostly Web 2-ish with all the consequences in security and privacy. We provide the unique single solution, one window solution to manage that things all in one. We have a fantastic team to execute our vision. I told about myself already. We also have great professionals in marketing, business strategy, sales, and for sure in development, both in Web 2, Web 3, and AI. We have we just started in July last year, but we already have great partners in this journey. I won the contest from Team Draper's Labs in December, and we'll go to the Team Draper's Institute this year with the official mentors for the cohort, such as Andrew Chen, Elon Musk, and Tim Draper himself. As well as we have largest law firms in Europe, in States. So we have several incubators, venture communities, and VCs working with us so far. We have a very detailed roadmap upfront for several years. We know what we will do and what we want to execute. Yeah, we raised our first money in November. It was an angel round. We released MVP just now, onboarded first startups. We were onboarding first investors and working with ecosystems to be our partners as well in this journey. Several blockchains. And yeah, we raised now, officially starting in March, we raised our pre-seed round of 1.5 mil in equity. But more of that, we would like to see investors and accelerators and angels as our partners in this journey on a mission to make more startups successful, because humanity can benefit much more if we have more ideas revealed and executed. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll be glad to answer the questions.
So this is going to be a strange question. You just gave a pitch, but can you say exactly what you do in 30 seconds?
What we exactly do, we automate the relationship between founders and startups, providing unprecedented transparency. So with the goal to help investors to find great opportunities, automate portfolio management and due diligence, and for startups to remove friction and make the processes much easier, because legal and financial things are very complicated for developers and people who they need to make what's their best for, and we aim to help them with the new technologies we have.
So I mean, this is like is this what does this compete with now, like in the Web2 world? What platforms are out there that do something not exactly the same, but something similar?
For example, as I told you, the competition is fragmented because there is no one window solution for that. So we have Carter, for example, for the cap table management, deal flow management. Right. We have kind of Crunchbase, and I think that is a platform we can find the matching stuff, but it's again not data driven. We make it data driven, and with the new blockchain tech, we make it highly private. So we as the company will not mess up with the data like our biggest competition, because we will not, as a company, we will not have access to the data, but we can make the computations with that to provide investors with the right answers on what they need. That's the beauty of the tech we have now here.
That was for everybody. So now you guys can now answer that question. Okay. Any other questions?
What part of the data is living on chain? Like, are you putting the cap table on chain, or? So
first of all, it's founders. We measure founders' commitment, and we transfer that to the real financial impact of the founders in the company. So we have this data on chain with the private access to investors to see the story between the teams. The same with IP, we can make a report, and we have IP on chain completely. We use decentralized storage to store the work itself, the agreement itself, and it's all signed on blockchain and authorized as well. And financial data as well that is necessary for reporting.
And how are you making that private? How are you making that private?
Sorry?
How are you making that data private?
Data private. So we use several ways. So on the first our step, it's wallet encryption, and the next step it will be that we use MPC for the board of members to have access, exclusive access of that, because all the data is stored on the company wallets, not on our database. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, next up is Anywhere Access. Okay, take it away.
This is John. He's a crypto native. He'll corner you at a meetup and tell you all about modular layer 5 rollups that turn metaverse avatars into artificially intelligent real-world assets that fund Scooby-Doo to finally bring your dog's identity on chain. But this is Johnny. Johnny likes to party. Johnny likes sports. What does Johnny understand about the financial system? He understands plastic, debit cards, credit cards, gift cards. So when we talk about all this jargon, we're throwing Johnny into this Web3 adoption maze. And Johnny isn't going to make it. We want him to get to self-custody, but he's just not going to get there. So how do we get Johnny through this adoption maze? We need self-custody plastic. So we've invented a card that allows you to give assets and a self-custody wallet in one physical card. You'll be able to get these cards anywhere. You'll download our mobile application. You'll tap the card to the top of your phone, to access a full self-custody wallet. And now Johnny's adoption path looks like this. Johnny can do this. He gets one of our gift wallets, he downloads our mobile application, and he accesses real self-custody. The rest of the world needs simplicity, but they also need security. 60% of the global market has smartphones. 30% of the global market knows how to use gift cards, and it's an $800 billion gift card market. Web3 is only 420 million, and how many of those people do you really think are true self-custody? So with Web3 gift wallets, all of us here can give the gift of self-custody to my nephews, to my sister, to my mom. And John can help Johnny with plastic. My name is Kevin. I'm the inventor of this technology and the CEO of Anywhere Access. And let's do some questions.
Thanks. Can you talk about the custody system on the back end?
Sure. So this is a key management primitive that I've created. So essentially on the card there is some information that we combine into your private key. And then that private key is used during your signing session to access and sign transactions. And so we never actually have access to that. We don't have any databases. It's just a regeneration of that private key every single time you log in.
Can you, I know you did it in the diagram, but can you sort of like further explain to everybody like like how simple the transaction is, and Web3 people are going to be very, very doubtful that this actually works the way that you're saying it is. So, is there a way that you can articulate a little more that explains that this takes care, that really does take care of those security things without saying, we just trust you, right? But we trust the technology, which is what Web3 people are all about doing.
Sure. I mean, further down the product roadmap, we definitely want to open source everything and make sure that people have access to everything. We're launching a beta version in the next month or two. So I think that path to explaining things to people will definitely be there, and I think that we'll have to do that over time, I think.
'Cause I remember when mobile phones mobile phones started and they had the banking apps on them, right? And I was like, I'm sure as hell not going to do banking on my phone, right? And we certainly aren't there. We certainly are way past that. But is like, do you think of this as something that replaces a hardware wallet, or is this something that is just a better personal wallet for walking around money, or what kinds of assets would somebody who's familiar with Web3 be using this for?
So I wouldn't say that we're a replacement for current hardware wallets. They have some security features that we can't put into the design that we have. So you can think of it like they have a bank vault that they're keeping your stuff with. Ours is, it's in between security and simplicity. So it's an air-gapped private key, which is, it reduces the likelihood of loss of funds if a software wallet is hacked by 87% if you have your private key air-gapped from your software wallet. So, I see a lot of applications. For example, if you run a couple of different Farcaster accounts, you could have physical cards that represent the keys that are actually the login for your Farcaster accounts, just to keep those kinds of like key management things simple for you as an end user.
Great. And what about like, what if you lose your card?
So there will be a couple of different options. There's an asset card that will be paired directly to the card. But then further in the product roadmap, we have the ability to duplicate cards so that you can have potentially 5 to 10 of the same card that are essentially backups of that card. For like a Ledger or a Trezor, that'll cost you $1,000. With us, it'll cost you $100.
Great. Any other questions? Awesome. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Let's see who we have coming up. Is this Hive or Gladiator? Gladiator? Okay, come on up. Let's see. You guys see Synexus yet? Your drop downs? What's it? Oh, I'll just. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As we all know, AI companies building agents and models are becoming more powerful by the day, but at the same time, they're becoming less transparent, less verifiable, which means it's actually very difficult to hold them accountable going into the future. I'm the founder of Tavana Labs. We're building Hive Network, and it's a platform for anyone to build their own decentralized AI agent. So quick intro about me. I've been in Web3 building since 2017, previously raised at EdCon 2018 for a healthcare crypto startup. I've won prizes at different hackathons, and I was actually one of the first 10 people hired on PayPal's crypto team. I'm based in Toronto, Canada. So let's get deeper into the problems. First of all, there's lack of funding for AI research and crypto research. And what ends up happening is that researchers work for the top companies and where the knowledge gets centralized. Then, ML engineers are not able to monetize their open source models. They can publish the Hugging Face, but what ends up happening is that they just use Hugging Face as a portfolio to show, okay, this is what I can do. And they end up working for those top 10 companies. Then again, the people building agents, basically assistants and co-pilots, they're centralizing their infrastructure and using as many models as possible, which also makes them even more powerful. So if you look at what's going on today, essentially the best way to think of this is an arms race for intelligence. And what needs to be done is that this intelligence needs to be built by the community and not just a few people. So we have what I call the flywheel solution, where our Hive network would have 3 main hubs. The first hub is the research hub, where any researcher can raise funds from the community through our token to actually be able to conduct their research. Then ML engineers can produce open source models that is also based on the research. And then finally, the agents, anybody, a Web3 business or even just a regular developer can build their own agent using these models. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If your agent uses any models from our model hub, the ML engineer who built that model is actually going to get royalties. If their model is based on research, the researcher also gets royalties. So what happens is that we're going to keep everything within the ecosystem, not by force, but through incentives. So this is where we introduce Hive Network, a decentralized AI agents protocol. Agents are essentially assistants that have wallets. They have a natural language interface, so they can you can use them to transact on any blockchain. They also have the ability to talk with any ML model, any API, and you can actually group agents together to do very complex workflows. So you can do things with IoT, agriculture, transportation, DeFi, NFT, gaming, and more. So looking a bit deeper, this is what the Agent Hub will look like. You have our protocol in the middle that can work with any blockchain on the left. And just as I mentioned, agents can use anything on the right, any API, any ML model that you would like. So we'll have a very simple way for non-technical people to build their own agents. You can have a wizard to be able to enter the information of the agent, and of course, add as many blockchains as you want, enable monetization, connect many more models, and upload documents, APIs, and even other agents. So the interface for most people will be a UI. So all the agents would actually have a chat interface where you can actually just express your intent and get the agent to carry out the task for you. Agents will also have APIs that developers can use and that other agents can use to integrate with. So one of the things that make us different is the idea of swarms. You can actually bundle agents together to do very complex workflows. For example, someone new to DeFi, they borrow money from some crypto lending platform. They have no idea they're about to be liquidated. You can have an agent that is monitoring your position and watching for updates on-chain for your health factor. It takes any updates, sends it to an ML model for prediction, and once the threshold has gone beyond 60%, it will tell you, okay, you have a chance of being liquidated. What would you like to do? Pay off your debt, add more collateral. You can pay off debt, and you can ask another agent to help you bridge funds from any other chain that you have, or you can ask another agent to do the on-ramp to bring your money from your bank account into crypto so you can actually pay off the debt. So we're not just doing this for Web3 natives and developers. We're going global. This needs to be something that everybody has access to. So we'll actually have a mobile app that is accessible and is easy for anybody to use. So in this mobile app, that's where a lot of our users will come from. One of the things that what makes us unique, as we mentioned, is the flywheel effect, where we have the research, the models, and the agents all coexisting symbiotically in our ecosystem. Then our agents would actually produce zero-knowledge proofs that can be verified by anyone, so you know exactly what the agent is able to do and not allowed to do. Also, our scaling solution is better than others because many other people are tying down their agents to on-chain models. Essentially, this means that they're restricted by the same architecture of these blockchains, which is sequential. Our agents can run in parallel, which means better scalability. And of course, our use cases go beyond crypto, and we're privacy enabled by design. We have over 30 plus businesses who are interested in building their agents. So after ETHDenver, I'm going to be doing a lot of heads down work, working with these businesses, both Web3 and non-Web3, to build their agents. So the market forecast for AI by the year 2023 and beyond is $1.3 trillion US. For Web3, it's close to $180 billion. We're aiming to capture that market. So here's a quick demo that was done at our event on Thursday last week. So here you can see the user is entering, they're using our agent kit to build an agent, and this agent is able to deploy contracts and actually sign transactions and submit it. So here the user enters information about the contract. So they want a new ERC20, and they specified the specific version. So they send it, the contract gets generated. It's using a model to generate the contract. And then over here on the Block Explorer, you can see nothing has gone on chain yet. So now we're actually going to deploy with this agent. So down here, you can see in the code, right, we're actually going to send a transaction using the agent. So the agent is able to use its function tool for deploying contracts. And now, when we go to the transactions, you can see that a contract was created. So going back into this, our go-to-market strategy is we're first of all going to onboard businesses. So it's a market, so there's two sides, the supply and the demand. So the suppliers will be the people who build agents, right? So we'll first start with Web3 businesses who build exactly what they do today, but now as agents. Why? Software companies historically produce APIs, SDKs. In our case, in Web3, smart contracts and nodes. The next wave of deliverables for software companies are actually agents. So Web3 businesses will be building their first agents. And then this acts as dev tools that other open source developers in Web3 can actually use to build their own agents. So now once the supply is handled, we're going to be reaching out to social media creators to use the mobile app and demonstrate how you can do things like minting NFTs and doing crypto lending. And of course, we're going to go with browser extensions. So everybody in Web3 today is most likely using MetaMask. So we're going to have a MetaMask snap where before you send a transaction, one of the agents can actually just answer questions that you have about the transaction or even the contract you're about to use. It can let you know if the contract is vulnerable or is run by scammers. So the roadmap, we're doing the beta testing. Test and development will take up most of the year. By this time next year, we should be announcing the main nets. And the way we're making money is by taking transaction fees from agents. Some people will want us to, some businesses have said they might want us to actually run the agents for them. So of course we'll have some infrastructure for them and provide them with API keys that they pay a subscription for. And of course there'll be extended features for enterprises. So we're looking for a 750K USD investment for our pre-seed in exchange for 10% equity at a 7.5 million valuation. And here are all the details about our project. Thank you.
You don't have much time, so just one quick question. You said transaction fees from is how you are going to make the money. You mean like transaction fees based on like how much CPU is actually used by the agent while it's running, or how many times it runs, or where it's running? What kind of what really is that transaction? Because you said some things might not even be on chain. So.
Yeah. So an agent's operation essentially will consist of either sending transactions on chain, using ML models, calling APIs, or using other agents. So yes, they'll be taking up compute. So essentially, we're going to have our own protocol, which means within the protocol, what they're doing are actually transactions. So that's what I meant by transaction fees. So essentially, the cost of compute for the agents.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're out of time for the questions. Since we had a total of 10. But
thank you.
Thank you. So I think we have one more, right, Gladiator? Yeah, great.
Yeah, it's on the right side. Sure. Okay. Okay. Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Dan Hendrickson. I'm very excited to be here. And first, I just want to say thank you. ETHDenver, you have changed me dramatically for the better. This experience has been immensely overwhelming, and I'm just very compelled to build alongside of such amazing people as I continue my journey. So a little bit about me. I'm a developer, designer, and an artist. And I'm in a place in my life where I'm actually trying to nurture the creative side of me, the younger version of myself, young Danny boy that enjoyed playing games as a kid. And so what I've done is I've set out, and as a developer, a designer, and an artist, I'm also an NFT creator. So I've set out to create a game to support the NFT community and to bring people into an arena. So my project is called Gladiator. And Gladiator, I'll show you, I'll jump into a demo here. So Gladiator is already online. I reached a significant milestone just a few months ago where I quietly launched an open beta, and I've been testing this project in the wild. It's very important for me personally as a creator to answer the call of the community where people that have collected tokens had no utility, right? And so many communities have promised a game at the tail end of a roadmap, but instead my approach was to begin with the game, prove that it could be possible, and then bring people together. So I'll go ahead and jump in to a demo. Now this is live and online on my website. People can play it and test it, and sure, there are some things that I would love to polish, but I'm proud of this project and I believe it has immense potential. So on the left, you'll see these NFTs that I've created, and these are happy little adorable AI accidents that I generated. They are called cosmic muffins. And on the right, I have sacred moths, and they all have their own deep lore. Cosmic muffins are about irony and humor. and sacred moss are about slowing down in a world that's so high intensity that you take a moment to enjoy the majesty and artwork. So to play the game, it's very simple. Now what you'll notice is that these two NFT collections, if you look on OpenSea, they're actually really minted NFT collections that I created. And so I'm reading the user's wallet and bringing them into one experience. And the whole idea is for NFT collections to battle against each other and gamify tokens in a way that nobody's ever seen before. So I'll go ahead and jump in and play. And in this instance, I'll choose single player. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose Trusty Earl, who is one of my favorite muffins, a moth, and then Uvu, just because Uvu is always very cool. And I'm ready for battle. So this, thankfully, the backgrounds are random. This is Planet Macaron. I love Planet Macaron. It's one of my favorite AI creations. And the game mechanics are simple. You battle NFTs against each other. It's designed to be fun, interactive, and easy to play. So I'll go ahead and advance the turn, and you'll see that the AI, or a bunch of fancy for loops, is going to battle against me. And now that it's my turn, I'll go ahead and select, let's say, Uvu, and Uvu has a unique ability that's actually assigned to his collectible. So each collectible integrated into the game gets unique abilities. So Cosmic Laser for a Cosmic Muffin. We'll go ahead and attack the moth. And I'll advance the turn so you can see a little bit more of the gameplay. More Nebula Pulse from the moth. And so this experience is also designed to be seamless, beautiful, and addictive. So it's immensely important that people enjoy this experience. For me as a kid, video games were a refuge. They provided a lot of delight and play. And I'm very much into bringing back the spirit of play. And I'll show you now Butter Blast, which is one of my favorite abilities ever. Of course, a muffin has a Butter Blast. And you'll see it washes the screen in butter, and it's a group attack against the other tokens. Now this is a real-time socket battler, built on top of an open-source multiplayer framework called Calisius. And I just lost a muffin. So this is Gladiator, and the reason it's called Gladiator, it's in the spirit of the Roman Colosseum to bring all of these collectibles into one game experience and give them utility. You know, it's very important that those art pieces that are out there on the blockchain are given a longer shelf life. The community deserves it, the creators deserve it, and so my ask is to bring other creators into one arena and to help make this what it really can be. So for a year I've been working on this project quietly, and I'm happy to share it with you all. And it's very important for me not just to make a living doing what I love to do, which is building Gladiator, but also do good. So built into the game just recently, while I was here, I built a shop into the game to help fund operations and also give back to charity. And it's very important that we recognize that one of the beautiful things about the ETHDenver culture is that they actually took a chance on me. On my way here, I was approved to plug in into an empty spot in the blockchain arcade. And as a creator of a product, this was immensely valuable. What ended up happening is I was able to demo for a full day and get the real external validation that I needed from the community. People came by, they collected Cosmic Muffins, which thankfully I brought a ton of stickers, so if you guys want muffin stickers, I have them. But more importantly, thank you, ETHDenver. This has been a wild experience, and I appreciate you all, so thank you.
So, I mean, I'm right in thinking this is like Pokemon for NFTs, right?
Yeah.
Right, and so I could like conceivably have my Bufficorn fight my Bored Ape.
That's entirely the idea. At some point, we'll have apes, we'll have punks, we'll have penguins. It'll be total chaos, and that delights me.
So you'd have to like the collections would have to decide what attributes equated to what like weapons or what actions and things like that?
Yeah, exactly. And that's an opportunity for collaborators and creators like me to meet the creators and say, all right, well, what kind of ability should an ape have inside of the game? And there's a lot of opportunity there to tell token owners that all of a sudden your asset has a whole new purpose in a different platform.
Cool. Oh, you guys don't have more? I've got loads of questions. So as far as the world construction itself and everything, it seems like that's that could be very easily easily configurable and things depending on what people wanted to do with it. Like how much how much are you going to charge for this? How are you going to charge? How are people going to use it? And like how are they going to customize it for themselves?
Yeah, so creators actually, a good part of the initial onboarding is a manual process. And the goal is to try to scope out appropriately what that costs and the depth of animation and special effects that the creator would want to integrate. But my goal is to raise capital for the project so that I can go full-time into this project and build a CMS around it that supports easier onboarding for creators and anybody alike, and then build a subscription model around that. And I think it's entirely possible. I've been curating a small closed group in my Discord of creators that have just been waiting to plug into this, and I'm very happy to say that it's built, it's ready to go. The onboarding process initially, right now, is just it requires some code. It requires jumping into After Effects and animating some beautiful things, and getting back to the spirit of play. So in collaboration. So.
Thanks. And where was your? Is it still there? Your.
No. I was there on Wednesday just for a day. So
got it.
I was plugged in, and that was really fun.
Fine. Any other questions? Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Cool. Thank you guys very much.
Let's see. So that, I think, brings us to the end. So we're going to take a couple of minutes, and if we have, we're going to have a round where we can ask questions of a few of the teams if we need further clarification, and then we'll put together our final judging numbers and announce right here. So give us 2 or 3 minutes. Thanks. Can we cut these? Can we cut these for a minute? Okay. We are ready to, so we didn't have questions to go back to you guys, so you're off the hook. However, I do want to say we appreciate everybody's hard work and coming here. I know it's not that early in the morning, but after the weeks that we've had, especially the hackers, man, you've been here for 10 days or 13 days, some of you, and thank you for showing up. So the first thing we're going to do is go to each judge and ask what your favorite team was coming out of it. So Terry, why don't you go ahead and start?
Yeah, sure. I think for me it was Damos. I think, you know, the focus on the human elements of blockchain ecosystems and how to validate personhood while maintaining privacy is a really important function that I don't think has received enough attention. And then what surprised me the most, I think, is Gladiator. I think it's just extremely well developed. I could sense the commitment and passion in developing it, and that's just great to see.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the same feedback on Gladiator. I thought that was very, it put a pretty big smile on my face. That was pretty nice.
Cool. And what was your favorite? So, wait, did you say Gladiators?
Yeah, I think Gladiator was probably my favorite.
What was the one that surprised you the most?
The one that surprised me the most, okay, so I would say it'd be kind of almost a tie between Split Social and Gladiator, honestly, I think, in terms of what I liked the best. But surprisingly, Gladiator did surprise me the most. So the game looked pretty spot on.
I really do want to. I just want to take my BuffiCoins and see
Exactly.
what it is.
Yeah. I was going through my
You could
NFTs.
go and you could use like the trade swapper and say, oh, I'm going to trade out this skill and go for. I mean, it's like totally makes your collections into a whole different dimension.
The rarity scores become like how much attack damage you could do or something like that.
Yeah. And then in that one I was not exactly clear about where the UN stuff came in about doing good and everything, but I think that's really interesting if you can bake that into the company and the business model too. So as for me, I think my favorite was, I'll be honest, I am familiar already with a few of these groups, and my favorite is is Split Social, because I just hate the way that YouTube works so much for creators. So that was the one that I was most interested in, and I think that the one that surprised me, I think Anima. I love Gladiator, but I think Anima Rising, the idea that that you can have some of these immersive games and it's tying blockchain into it, it's like, oh, okay. Because at first when I read everything about it, it's like, this is a little jinky, but then it's like, it becomes something like you're getting up in the morning, you're checking into it. I hope my kids never do that, but it's talk about like addictive potentially. Yeah. It's
I think there's like an undertone here of like things that are starting to actually be fun, right? And there's a lot of very cool applications that were put on stage that kind of evoked, okay, crypto's actually like fun, right? With like Anima, the ones you just said, and then Gladiator, a bunch of the other games as well. And I think that element of crypto is very exciting to see as it evolves.
Yeah. So the lesson everybody can take from this is if you can make a multi-sig wallet into a super fun application, then you're going to become a billionaire.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, are we all set on the entries? It looks like we need a little more time on putting our calculations together. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to give away some more stuffed animals.
Who wants a Zeke?
Some Zekes. And can you grab a few? Can you grab some BuffiCoins too? The BuffiCoins are in the back. Yeah, we're hiding those. They also double as neck pillows. They're somewhere behind the stage. Both ways. They're both behind.
And if you're an artist, I think we might be having a meme contest soon for Zeke. So follow the ZK Sync Twitter handle, and you'll see.
Everybody raise hands. Claire's going to
Oh, don't hurt it. Way in back, way in back. The audio guys. Russ, can you reach the audio guy?
Okay, it's my last one because my doctor's coming. Okay. I've been told.
If you didn't get one and you want one, come up and you can definitely grab one.
Come grab it.
Grab two.
There's spork whales coming as well. So so let's see. Judging. Okay. We're now officially locked in.
Okay.
Whales? Whales. You guys are all whales, right? It's the year of the spork whale. Claire, can you help me?
What do these look like?
Or just give them out to people, if you don't mind. I don't want to throw any.
Can I get one? Can I get one?
Wait, you want? Well, I've got some for you too.
I'll grab one. Ooh, these are big.
How about you tell me the top three? Yeah, if you don't mind. Geez, who knew the spork whales would be so popular? Yeah. Okay, so let me just. Oh, here's the total score. Oh, you can't sort.
I thought that's her.
So,
Yeah. How do you score?
oh, so we can't. So 230.
Yeah, I suppose it does get out.
$2.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me? So it's funny. So it looks like it's. So which ones are they? Okay, we have our users now. We want. Hi there. Okay. So we have our winners. I think we're all surprised. We must have had a lot of different opinions on here. So I want all the applicants to hang out because we have a special gift for everybody that goes out as well as to the judges afterwards. So hang on whether you were the winner or not. So let's see. In third place, in no particular order, which there is a cash prize for this that is something that I have on my other laptop, which I will tell you in a minute. Let's see here. Hold on, I think I've been told something that's wrong. Hang on just a second.
Yep. I head up ecosystem and BD there.
Oh, okay. I met Coogan.
Yes. He's head of our education.
Yeah, he's very close friends with my girlfriend.
Okay. by then.
Oh, will you be there for dinner? Yeah, I'll be there.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm in New York as well. So that's where I'm based. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun this year.
Lord have mercy. It's super close, like within 4 points for the top three. And so so the second runner-up is Anywhere Access. Okay, the first runner-up, also known as second place, is Damos. And rounding out in first place, we have Open Dollar. Great. Okay, let me trade computers again.
Is it tied for two?
So as far as prizes go, for those, everything we do is sort of a 5280 sort of meme. So the first place, I think, gets a mile and a half. So that's something like $7,600, and then we have 5280 for second place, and third place gets half a mile, which is 2640, I think. So you do get a cash prize as long as we confirm that you're actually real human beings and complied with the rules. And in this case, we won't. Everyone else, thank you very much for coming. We really appreciate it. We will be sharing your information with everyone, and so you know, everyone that applied will also be evaluated for induction into due diligence for BuffiTank Ventures. So we will be looking at you to invest that way, and I will definitely be talking to you. I already saw that Terry was trying to get a couple of you guys ahead of me, so I don't know why he would do that. And so all of you, if you would also line up, and we will, after this is over, we'll come down and give you guys a gift. So, so thank you all for coming. And next up on this stage, I believe we have the closing ceremonies and the announcement of who the Bidathon winners were. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of the year until we see you next ETHDenver. Thanks, guys.